Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at Finchat. This is a really cool fundamental analysis platform that's just jam-packed with financial data, as well as some AI tools to help you analyze companies in more depth and make decisions about what stocks are right for you and your portfolio. So I think this is a really powerful platform that's definitely worth a look. So let's dive in and I'll help you decide if this platform is right for you. So I want to start out by showing you Finchat's dashboard. There's nothing crazy about this dashboard, but it is just a really nicely laid out platform that does a nice job of helping you keep track of the information that's important to you. So you can see across the top here, just have a basic overview of what's happening in the market right now. What I like about this dashboard is that you can create your own portfolios and watch lists pretty easily. So here I've got a tech watch list going. If you add shares and cost information, Finchat will treat this like a portfolio and give you statistics about your portfolio for just kind of a basic monitoring and analysis. You can create as many of these different dashboard pages as you want. So it's really nice for tracking multiple watch lists across different industries or stocks that are in your portfolio versus stocks that are in a watch list. Nothing crazy, but again, Finchat does a really nice job of just helping you keep track of this information. The really powerful thing about Finchat is this analysis platform. So this is where you can start diving into all of the financial data that you need about a specific company. One thing I will say about Finchat at this point is that the platform can be kind of slow to load. You can see it's taking a little while to load this page on Microsoft, just an overview page. So do be prepared for some lag if you're using Finchat. It's just a part of using the platform at this point. So now we're looking at Microsoft. This is the main analysis page. You can see across the top here all of the different data categories that Finchat offers. This overview page does a nice job of giving you kind of a quick hit of valuation metrics, financial health metrics, growth metrics, and a quick chart of the stock price. The real kind of value of Finchat lies in this financials tab. This is where you're going to find income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, as well as financial and valuation ratios, and these key performance indicators that I'll talk about more in just a minute. What I want to show you about this table is that, first of all, I find it to be quite readable. I think it's just a little bit nicer than the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow tables in other platforms, for example, Seeking Alpha, just a bit easier to read. I also like it's more customizable. You can include percent change from year to year. You can change the number of decimal places, change whether the numbers are displayed in thousands, millions, or billions, as well as change the time frame. So annual, quarterly, semi-annual, as well as just change the overall scale of time that you're looking at. The other thing that's really cool is that if you click on any of these boxes, Finchat will bring up a quick chart of the data point that you're looking at. So again, the program can be a little bit laggy, but this is a really powerful way to go from these data tables to a chart of financial data in just a couple seconds. So you can see here we have total revenue for Microsoft over a number of years. We can easily add other metrics to this chart just by clicking on that income statement table. Okay. And once those are up, I do again find that Finchat can be a little bit slow. So I'm just going to take those back away while I show you the rest of the platform. Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about here, I'll show you what's in the ratios real quick. There's really detailed financial ratios. This is sort of competing directly with something like Seeking Alpha that offers just a huge degree of valuation ratios for you to look at. One difference here is that Finchat just gives you the numbers. There's no A to F grades or anything like that to help you make decisions in the way that something like Seeking Alpha does. But what's really cool here are these segments and key performance indicators tab. So these are company-specific metrics, KPIs, that are specific to the company that you're looking at. So, for example, we're looking at Microsoft and we can see how much revenue over time, for example, that Microsoft is bringing in through different divisions in the company. So we can look at, for example, Windows revenue over time, gaming revenue, revenue from LinkedIn, as well as, search and news or cloud services. So for tech companies in particular that have a lot of different divisions and kind of many different businesses wrapped into one, maybe think of a company like Amazon, this kind of revenue breakdown can be really helpful to see where the growth is happening and where losses are happening and what parts of a company are, going to offer that potential that you want to see in order to invest. I'll also add that data like this is generally quite hard to come by. You won't find it in most financial analysis platforms, and typically it takes diving through earnings reports or diving into really detailed research reports on a specific company in order to get data like this. So the fact that Finchat just provides this uh, is really kind of incredible. I think it's also worth pointing out that Finchat lets you add your own custom metrics that you can track for companies. So these are based on sort of using the existing metrics, including KPIs, as building blocks. But it's a really nice way to kind of create your own metrics and be able to just track those without having to kind of keep an Excel spreadsheet outside of Finchat. Another really cool thing Finchat offers here is this investor relations tab. So here you'll find not just earnings report transcripts, but actually transcripts from any major investing event that a company has been present at or its executive officers have been present at over the last several quarters. So you can get not just transcripts and actually hear playback from these, you can also generate an AI summary. So this is just a really kind of neat way to quickly get an overview of what a company's officers have been talking about during earnings calls and at major investing events. So you get a much deeper look at companies than you get from just looking at sort of that financial information table alone. Some of the other aspects of Finchat here are more standard. So you can look at estimates from Wall Street analysts. You can look at what individuals and what companies own shares of a stock. There's an industry peer analysis table, as well as information about dividends and SEC filings. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit more about Finchat's charting capabilities. So if you go to this charting tab here, you can actually pull up charts for any combination of companies and metrics that you want. Here, I've already made up a chart looking at Microsoft, Google, and Apple. To show, I pulled up total revenue, stock price, and price to earnings ratio. There are thousands of metrics. You can include key performance indicators in here. So these charts are really customizable. You can also customize the time frame that you're analyzing. So again, just highly customizable fundamental charting here. Another thing I like is that you can actually change the type of chart for some of the metrics. So really easy to create the visualizations that you need to get the information that you want. So I just pulled up 3 generally used metrics to analyze stocks. So they don't necessarily make the most sense on this chart together, but I wanted you to be able to see how these charts look when you have multiple different metrics on them. Another thing that's really cool about Finchat is that if I don't want to look at these in a single panel, it's too much information or anything like that, you can actually break up this panel by company or by metric. And I find that for pure analysis or comparing 2 stocks head to head, breaking these up by metric can be really helpful. So the next thing I want to show you is the Finchat stock screener. And this is actually one part of the platform that I don't love. So it actually uses AI as the main way that you're going to enter filters. There are a few filters that just have drop-down lists, countries, industries, exchanges mainly. But if you want to look for specific metrics or search for a company by market cap or something like that, you have to type it in using these AI filters. So to give you an example of how this works, we'll look for companies that have a market cap greater than $1 billion, revenue greater than $1 billion, and I want to say, PE is greater than the 5-year average PE. And we can run that screener. And basically my experience here is that sometimes it interprets these metrics like I want them to, and sometimes the AI just doesn't get it right here. So you can see that revenue is greater than $1 billion, market cap is greater than $1 billion, but PE is not greater than the 5-year average. It interprets that as PE is greater than 5. So it's a very different screen. So it's not really using the capabilities of the AI to actually compare companies' current price to earnings ratio against their 5-year average. So I actually don't love this Finchat stock screener. I think it's a little bit more difficult and confusing to use than a screener in something like Seeking Alpha or FinViz. That said, the last thing I want to show you is the Copilot. This is Finchat's AI chatbot that's designed to help you dive deeper into companies. And in particular, it analyzes recent earnings call transcripts as well as investor relationships meetings transcripts. So you're getting more than you can get from just summarizing earnings calls from this. And it does a really nice job of just kind of pulling together different sources of information from across different investor meetings and spitting out actionable insights and summaries that you can use to make your own decisions. So, as an example here, I asked it how EQB Inc. is managing its loan losses as of late, and you can see that it actually quickly pulls up a table here of different ways that this company is managing its loan losses and different types of loans, and you can see details about how it's managing those. These are again based on earnings calls and investor meeting transcripts. What I really like is it has these source links, so you can actually dive into the transcript that this information came from and get more context. I also asked the Copilot about Amazon's stance on tariffs. And again, it presents this nice table summary of information about how Amazon is dealing with tariffs, what the company's officers have said about that, and shares those source links to the actual transcripts that this information came from so you can dive in further. So this is a really powerful tool within Finchat to dive deeper into companies and go a little bit further than you can with really any other financial analysis platform out there at the moment. So how much does Finchat cost? The company has a free plan that's pretty great and gives you 5 years and 6 quarters of financial data, as well as 2 years and 2 quarters of that key performance indicator data, those company specific metrics. But it's limited to 10 Copilot prompts per month and one dashboard. It also doesn't include access to the Finchat stock screener, which again, I would say is not a huge loss because it's not my favorite feature of this platform. But the limited financial data can be limiting for some people. The Plus plan costs $29 per month, and I think this is going to be right for most investors. You get quite a bit more financial data, 10 years and 12 quarters, as well as significantly more KPI data, 5 years and 6 quarters. Importantly, you also get 100 Copilot prompts every month, as well as 5 dashboards and the stock screener. So you're really unlocking most of the capabilities of Finchat with this Plus plan. The Pro plan costs $79 per month, so quite a bit of a price jump. This unlocks really the full Finchat platform. You're getting all of the financials, all the KPI data, 500 Copilot prompts a month, as well as unlimited dashboards. So if you're using the Plus plan and you find that you're running up against limitations, it might be worth considering upgrading to Pro. What I do like is that the free plan comes with a free 2-week trial of the Pro plan. So for 2 weeks, you'll get to enjoy everything that Finchat has to offer and really explore the platform. It's also worth noting that Finchat offers annual pricing for both of these plans. Plus is $24 per month when you pay annually, and Pro is $64 per month when you pay annually. So about a 20% discount. So overall, I think Finchat is a really powerful fundamental analysis platform that can be really great for investors who are savvy financial analysts or want to use the AI capabilities to dive deeper into stocks and particularly into earnings transcripts and investor meetings and get information that isn't available in alternative platforms like Seeking Alpha or FinViz. There's a lot of cool stuff to Finchat, and it just gives you a way to go a bit deeper than what other platforms allow. So I definitely recommend signing up for that free plan and exploring this platform and taking a look at all of its features to decide if it's right for you.